issue?
Only they can answer that question. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I can say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. Because you seen what I said in the Vibe article. I basically bowed out and was going to go ahead about my life. The next issue, that wasn't even the next issue, because them cowards waited about 4 issues before they got their story together. 4 issues later, half of New Yorkers commenting on me getting shot. And before, they was all like, we didn't see nothing. In the first issue, we did, Vibe viewers. Nobody seen shit. The 4th issue, when they came back with a reply, everybody knew what I did. They knew what I said. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bullet. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work. They found the bullet. Oh, you found the bullet, huh? So what is this other shit in me then? What was the doctors talking about? What? Can you explain these other holes in me? How'd I get gunpowder all over me? That insulted my intelligence. So
stop everything. Curtis Jackson just dropped a prison clip that's going viral. Sean Combs looking shaken, unsettled, like we've never seen before. For years, everyone said he's untouchable, calm, running classes, living the prison life like a king. But now the narrative has flipped, and it's explosive.
Sources say Combs isn't treated like an ordinary prisoner. People close to the scene whisper that he could be in real danger, not because of typical prison drama, but because old grudges still linger. Yup, we're talking Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G.
The killings of Tupac in 1996 and Biggie in 1997 are like shadows over rap culture, and some Brooklyn circles still simmer with suspicion. Some insiders say Combs
slightly, gradually over time. Today, I look at Diddy through a different lens than I might have 10, 15 years ago. There were obviously some early red flags, but it's a complicated thing because we have to be very careful about falsely accusing people or even, making accusations based on nothing more than speculation. And we just haven't seen all the evidence. So I prefer to kind of withhold judgment on some things. I can tell you regarding Diddy back when Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls were murdered. He wasn't exactly cooperative. He didn't do what you would assume a friend or, a manager, so to speak, would do. So from a law enforcement perspective, he was very unhelpful in an area where he ought to have been contributing towards getting some type of justice in those 2 murder cases. But as we found out in time, he was complicit in one of them, and which would make sense why maybe he didn't cooperate in the other, because the 2 were, they were just, we always understood that they were somehow interconnected. And so if you're going to cooperate or provide information on one and you're culpable in the other, one thing could lead back to the next. And that's where I think
make him a target.
Understood.
And in this world, rumors alone are enough to spark serious threats.
Tupac was gunned down in Las Vegas in September '96, just 25 years old. Biggie followed 6 months later in a Los Angeles drive-by. These weren't just random attacks, they were the climax of East versus West tension.
Combs, as the head of Bad Boy Records, represented the East. His name repeatedly surfaces in discussions of these murders, though he has always denied involvement, calling it ridiculous. But whispers in the streets? Those never die. And now a new documentary is bringing all of this back to the forefront, hinting at connections some would rather forget.
Former executives and insiders hint maybe Combs knew more than he admitted. Some say he was aware of what was about to happen to Tupac that night at Quad Studios in Manhattan. Allegedly, an intermediary tipped him off, and instead of preventing the tragedy, he allegedly stayed close to watch events unfold. Again, These are unproven
danger over
allegations,
here
but in the
because
world of
people
hip-hop,
think that he has something to do with Pac. People think he has something to do with Biggie, and they right here in Brooklyn. You understand? It's right here in Brooklyn, and some of the people are still mad that he made making of the band walk to Brooklyn from, you know, to get the cheesecake, and he's around the corner from the Cheesecake Factory. So, I mean, Junior's. So it might be some dumb shit. So y'all need to get him out of here and ship him to Jersey because somebody gonna kill him over here. Those are good arguments, if you want to call it, but it's bullshit. He gonna get the same
perception
treatment
can be as deadly
no matter
as
how much
reality.
he got,
Tupac
money he
survived
got.
the quad shooting physically, but his trust shattered completely. He became openly suspicious of associates, and that suspicion, that mistrust, could turn whispers into threats against anyone, even decades later.
Fast forward to Biggie. Insiders say warnings went out to Combs before Biggie's LA trip, but he encouraged it anyway. Biggie himself resisted at first. The entourage wasn't unified. Security was minimal, and the risk, massive. One former executive recalls Combs' decision-making in stark terms. It wasn't safe, but we had no choice. And as history shows, tragedy struck. Biggie's last hours were chaotic, risky, and full of unanswered questions.
People still debate motives. Was it hubris, business pressure, loyalty, or something darker? These whispers refuse to die, and now Combs' prison footage adds a new layer of tension.
Yes, he had every bit of it. I remember one time, you know, he was like, who did you grow up listening to? I'm like, Tupac. I ain't mentioned Biggie. That nigga ain't even talk to me for like 14 days after that. Everything with Pac, like, you couldn't say Pac was anything better than Biggie. You can't put them in the same realm or nothing. It was all about Biggie. Nick, I ain't know no fucking, it was all a dream whole song. I knew a couple words, the first verse maybe, but he made us recite the whole fucking thing. I guess, I don't know. He made us recite that whole fucking thing. And I don't think that Biggie would have gave a fuck if a nigga would have killed about reciting his whole shit. Like, cause I grew up listening to Biggie too. And I just felt...
Officially, Combs has
felt
never been
Pac.
charged in either murder. Court documents reveal arrests of others, statements implicating him indirectly. But legally, he's not a suspect. Yet decades of rumors, testimony from ex-executives, and insider accounts make the story sticky, irresistible. The question now, how much does street perception influence real danger, especially inside a prison where power dynamics shift daily?
Imagine being in his shoes, locked up, and suddenly old whispers turn into immediate threats. Every glance, every movement, scrutinized. Every prisoner with knowledge of your past could be a risk. Some say the prison footage shows fear, unease, a man who feels the weight of old grudges. Even without proof, the environment inside feels charged with decades-old suspicion. And the more people talk, the hotter the fire burns.
Rap history is full of stories like this. Power, betrayal, rivalry, vengeance. Tupac and Biggie weren't just musicians, they were symbols tied to loyalty, territory, ambition. Combs' role as East Coast's head made him central, unavoidable. Even if innocent, his name is etched in conversations, documentaries.
People like that, they wanted him to come and do a record. That was what was set up at Quad. Biggie, knowing it was Sean, they were all there, C's, all of them. It was just going to be a fun night at the studio. Pac showed up. He saw them looking down from the window. His new friends were there. An incident happened in the elevator. It might have been a scary thing, like just to send a message. Tupac standing his own ground, just didn't leave it at that. He ended up getting hit, getting shot. The elevator went up. Our people were shocked to see him in that state. He was shocked to see our people looking at him shocked. He thought that they knew something about him. He thought if he was in New York and he was with all the rappers from the East, they must have known what was going to happen. It had to be in the wind. and situations aren't laid out like that. And it was the furthest thing from the truth, but he held that to his heart. And then he went away. A few other things happened, got better, got prepared, went away, went to jail on the rape charge. Once that came down on him, it looked as if the East Coast must have been the worst thing, and the worst place for him to have come to. And it looks as if the friends that he had just turned their backs on him. Suge stepped in. Suge stepped in. And when Suge stepped in, he signed him. He signed him to a napkin at Clinton. And that letter that he sent through Wendy Day, she was definitely a person that was connected and a mediator between most everyone in the hip-hop game and had been for a minute, legendary person. She delivered the letter to my office. It started with West Side Up. So it gave an indication of rumblings that we heard in the street of him being shined by Suge. It's definitely true. He's going to go
Street
west and come
whispers.
back. And he
That's
has an
the
issue with
danger.
us.
Reputation can outlive truth.
During a mid-90s magazine discussion, Tupac responded cautiously, yet pointedly, when asked about Combs's possible role. He expressed personal views and suggested certain individuals' safety could be jeopardized because many assume involvement in both losses. That perception alone creates peril in certain neighborhoods. Tupac also highlighted discrepancies in media coverage of his ordeal. He sensed his account was downplayed and reshaped. Such treatment intensified his suspicion and fury. The Quad event remains unsolved to this day.
One longtime associate later asserted Combs had prior awareness of impending harm to Tupac. This source described Combs along with other industry figures allegedly gathering earlier that evening. An intermediary supposedly alerted Combs that Tupac would face consequences over a financial disagreement. The claim holds that Combs remained nearby, not to prevent trouble, but to witness developments. Additional assertions suggest monitoring of Biggie occurred due to contractual and ownership concerns. These accounts originate from that individual, lacking courtroom validation. The source insists Combs' location that night was deliberate. He allegedly opted against alerting Tupac or intervening. Such accusations persist without judicial resolution.
Further commentary aligns similar recollections from the former executive. If financial elements existed, knowledgeable insiders would trace origins. None of these assertions have received legal confirmation. Combs has repeatedly dismissed participation in either tragedy. Nevertheless, renewed attention demonstrates how lingering mysteries refuse to fade. In rap history, certain narratives endure quietly, awaiting revival.
One voice maintains that should Combs have contributed, the former executive would recognize funding sources. That executive reportedly referenced Combs financing travel arrangements to Nevada. The speaker admits limited personal recollection of specifics, yet emphasizes large sums inevitably leave detectable records.
A separate recollection involves an associate displaying a substantial payment document briefly before departing. The amount was significant, impossible to conceal easily.
It came down to
Nearly
success.
2 years afterwards,
Foolishness
Tupac's
and all
life
that
ended
a
violently in
chumped
Las
up
Vegas.
charges they couldn't prove. I don't think they got no evidence. I think they trying to keep him in there to lock in that Key 50. You hear me? That Key 50 situation with Puff. I think that's the only reason why he's still in jail. They know Puff is not a dangerous person on the outside. They know if they let him out right now, he's gonna be on house arrest. He's gonna be a good boy. He around and do all church little videos and whatever. They know that already. That's not what they aiming for. They don't care about none of that. What they care about is they trying to connect Key 50 with Biggie. I mean, with Tupac and Diddy. I'm telling you, that's what I feel. I never thought I would have said that, but I'm an intelligent man, bro. And ain't no other way they gonna keep you in there off. Oh, Diddy did this to me. Oh, Diddy did that to me. I'm suing. Oh, we got enough evidence to. No, you don't. That's accusations. That's not factual, brother. You did. So I feel like the actual factual thing that they're really trying to aim for is the Key 50. That's the only thing that they can really lock them in with. All the rest of that shit gonna get chumped down when it come down to it. Diddy gonna plead, and that shit gonna be over with. that rabbit in the hole is gonna be that Key 50 situation. So, mark my words. Watch. That's why they ain't gonna let him out. They would have let Key 50 out on that bail. Vegas got a little thing. They'll let you out on bail, but they got little restrictions of how you can get out. You did. So they gonna make sure you can't get out of jail. Trust me. So
That investigation lingered unresolved for decades, breeding endless theories. Recent developments brought an arrest in late 2023 for murder involvement. Court documents from 2024 disclosed prior statements where the individual repeatedly referenced Combs as directing the action. The accused denies everything and entered a no guilty plea. Official statements clarify Combs never qualified as a suspect.
Following Tupac's passing, warnings allegedly surfaced against westward travel. Despite this, Combs encouraged Biggie's LA journey. The former executive later stated Biggie resisted the trip initially. Another close collaborator confirmed Biggie questioned the itinerary, attributing decisions to Combs. This detail raises questions about motives. The source emphasizes the informant's credibility as Biggie's trusted sound engineer. How could such testimony be dismissed lightly?
People resist uncomfortable realities once presented, not due to falsehood, but because acceptance proves difficult. The night carried no unified group protection. Biggie maintained his detail, Combs his own. Total entourage numbered over 20, yet reportedly unarmed. Entering that territory unprepared seems reckless historically.
The source expresses ongoing frustration over denied requests for enhanced safeguards beforehand. The response cited limited funds. That rationale continues to feel inadequate. Additional security should have been prioritized. The former executive echoed similar concerns regarding resource allocation. Without Biggie, financial capacity diminished dramatically.
A retired investigator contributed further perspective. Perceptions of Combs evolved gradually based on observed conduct. Lack of assistance following the losses raised concerns from investigative viewpoints. The officers stressed careful handling of claims, prioritizing evidence over conjecture. Still, cooperation appeared minimal where expected from someone positioned closely. This behavior prompted questions about potential exposure in related matters.
The two incidents seemed intertwined, making assistance in one risky for the other. Witness descriptions of Biggie's last hours vary sharply. One account claims Biggie preferred alternative destinations. The former executive counters this firmly, insisting resistance existed until persuaded otherwise. Plans shifted towards visibility in Los Angeles. Multiple appearances layered risk unnecessarily. Decades later, both cases lack resolution. No convictions, no formal accusations against Combs. Yet emerging details suggest shifting dynamics. Additional testimonies surface steadily.
Tension predated the quad event, brewing from earlier interactions. Mistrust, ambition, and competition simmered beneath. Once violence erupted, divisions solidified permanently. Unresolved pain echoes louder than any verdict. Perception alone can turn whispers into threats. With Combs currently detained, these historical suspicions amplify. Reality or rumor, the weight of belief persists powerfully. This recent clip resonates because it highlights enduring consequences. Hip-hop's past refuses burial. It lingers, waiting.
What do you believe? Will old accusations ever find closure? Share your thoughts below. If this break...
What do you believe? Will old accusations ever find closure? Share your thoughts below. If this breakdown hit hard, smash that like button or subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next revelation. The story keeps unfolding. Now, with Combs behind bars, everything comes alive again. Danger, rumors, suspicion, it all collides in one viral clip. Reality or myth? The fear is real. So what do you think? Was Combs involved, or is this just the weight of history haunting him? Comment below and let the debate begin. Hit like if this blew